I'm finally at the stage where I can take it off the rotisserie. I've just got a little bit more body work to do, but I'll do that once I get it off and get it down so I can work on it properly. Just this dolly's a little bit high, so I'm going to make it a bit smaller, and then I'll lower it down, and then I can get the body all finished. I can just work on the panels and then should be able to paint it soon. This is why it pays to do research before you start a project. I just found out that to put a drop tank in, I need to lose this bit. So, where the spare wheel sits has to go. I'm gonna have to cut this out, weld a flat plate straight across. If I realized, I would have done it earlier, but I just rang up to order a drop tank for the other Torana, and talking to the guy, he said, being that it's a UC, I need to lose that. So I'm going to cut that out, weld a flat plate in it, and yeah, see how that goes. Okay, I've set the patch in here. It's under that and on top of that, and I've screwed it in. And what I'm going to do is just cut a little bit with the saw, and then tack it, cut a little bit more, tack it, and just keep going like that. And then I'll go on this side, I'll do the same thing. I'll just start cutting, tack, cut, tack, and hopefully if I do that, it'll all stay in position and line up. All the repairs are done on the car. I just got to rub it back with 240 or 320 or something, and then coat it in the epoxy primer again, and then I'll throw the high fill on so I can start rubbing it back so I can paint it. And I just fitted the guards with some Tech screws, and oops, and I'm gonna have to fill it in here where the gap is. The piping could probably take it up, but I'd rather it fits perfect before I put it on. Tiny little bit more in there that has to be filled. And on the inside, I don't know what the hell they've done here, but this is on the wrong angle. So I'm gonna have to cut this, lower it down, and putty it. So it's got to sit like that. I don't know why it's like that. Mistake at the factory. Around the other side, this one fits perfect on the bottom. That fits beautiful. That's all on the right angle, so I don't know how they got the other side wrong. Just a little bit in there that I'll have to fill up with fiberglass. All the rest of it seems all right across the top. And then the only thing is the bottom here doesn't quite fit properly, so I'm gonna have to cut that, lift it up, and fiberglass that so it fits the bottom perfectly. What they've done, they've just made it on the wrong angle. So at the back here, it's hard up on the floor, but on this side it's got a gap, so I'm gonna have to fix that too. This is a bit of a bummer because I wanted to get into some painting this weekend, but I'm gonna have to cut that where I've marked it and make it sit properly. And then even this side, I'm gonna have to slice it, like a V in it there, and make it, and bring it up so it sits right. And the same as this on the other side as well. So I was hoping the flares would fit perfectly. They look like they were gonna, but they don't. Anyway, not to worry. I'll get into it and get it done, and then I can get onto the painting. Oh, that little setback's fixed. Sits better now. So it should have sat from the start, but anyway. And on the other side, I just filled it in a little bit in there so it hugs the body, and Same down there. So now I'm debating if I put the nut certs in and get it ready so it fits properly now, or maybe I'll undercoat it first. I'll get it all primed and then put them in. Yesterday I put the car in high fill. I first put another coat of epoxy primer and then 3 coats of high fill on it. And overall it doesn't look too bad. I'm actually surprised. So most of it just needs a light rub back and then I can put some paint on. The only thing, this quarter has a little dent here, protrusion, if you can see that. Otherwise it's pretty good. I've got to fix up this bit here, doesn't look right. But otherwise the rest of it is pretty damn good. The doors are a bit sus still. I'm going to need more work on them, but I expected that. The hatch is pretty good. I just got to rub this back now and paint it. Put some colour on it. I'm just trying to work out where to do the blackouts. I'll probably, like most Toranas, run the black here, do the rest white. Or actually, no, do the white here and do the rest black, and then white on the outside since the car's going to be white. And the doors, I'm going to now prepare the inside and spray all this white. So then when I put them on, I only have to just spray just the outside of them. Yeah, so that's about it for the moment. Okay, I'm just going around the car now doing some fine filling with just little bits I miss here and there. I rubbed it back and then I was able to find a few little bits and pieces that needed a bit more work to them. So I've gone around, put the fine filler on. And I'm just about to do some seam sealing in all these areas. And then I'll go with the epoxy primer again, just as a touch up, and then I'll put some high fill on again. And then maybe I'll be ready to put some colour on. Just threw another coat of the high fill on and all looks pretty good. I might put one more coat on it and then all I have to do is some seam sealing, rub it back, and then I can put the colour on. Almost time to paint, but first I just got to do the seam sealing. So I'll just mask it up like that. Put the seam sealer in, I'll brush it off, and then should be ready for painting. Okay, that's the shell painted. Come out pretty good, I think. I'm pretty happy with that. Got the blackouts done. Now I just got to get into the doors and all the other bolt-ons. But otherwise, at least the main part's out the way, and all the rest is just small stuff, which is good. The only thing, I just had one stuff up, and that's my fault because I didn't adjust the gun properly when I started. And I've got one run here, dirty, great big run. When I started the gun, I had the flow rate on full. Stupid me didn't adjust it. But that's the only stuff up. I'm gonna have to fix that up later. I'm just gonna let it go hard first. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it all. I've been going at it for about 10 minutes now, and this bit feels beautiful. I can just feel the tiniest little lump here still, not much. Just a tiny little bit, so I'm just gonna have to keep going like this with the blade. But the blade, I think the blade's getting a bit blunt now, so I might leave it till tomorrow. And yeah, so pretty happy that that's pretty much gone. It looks ugly, but once it gets polished, then I'm sure it'll look just like the rest of the car. Anyway, that's about it for now. Just one quick thing to remember. In there's a seam. It's been sealed on this side, but I reckon it should be sealed from inside because that's where all the water's gonna go. So I'm gonna try and get the gap gun in there and seal that up as well before I forget.